Hi, kids. I know. I haven't posted a YouTube video in over a month. I'm going to make a whole separate video about that, but in true skill issue fashion, I tried to record a episode of Shootin' the Wheeze where I actually talked about everything that was going on and my wrestling burnout, and it didn't record, and I was so frustrated with it that I couldn't stand to sit down and record for another 20 minutes doing that. So we're gonna talk about something else. I was gonna give you maybe like a top 5 of what I loved about Monday Night Raw this week, but what I'm actually gonna do is talk about a specific storyline that I think is really captivating the audiences. I wanna talk about Liv Morgan, Dominik Mysterio, and the love triangle that might or might not be in play. Better yet, I really want to talk about what exactly could be happening when it comes to this love triangle. Now, last week on Raw, if you live in the United States like I do and USA Network cut the feed off too soon, you didn't get to see Liv actually kiss Dominik Mysterio, but I don't know if it's just me picking up on vibes, but I could tell that that was the look in her eye, like that was what was going to happen. I felt like in my being that that's what was going to happen. And then my chat is telling me, oh, Wheezy, they kissed. And I'm like, but did they? So I get on X and I'm scrolling, Twitter. I get on Twitter and I'm scrolling and I'm seeing nothing. And then finally I saw it happen. Now let's break it down. Liv Morgan goes in for the kiss, okay? This wasn't Dominik Mysterio lunging at her in this like beautiful embrace where they're like showing their love for each other. This was Liv Morgan smashing her lips into Dominik Mysterio's. Now we all know Dominik Mysterio is a victim of circumstance. Dominik Mysterio was raised, well, barely raised, not raised, he wasn't there. He has a deadbeat dad. It's a domino effect of Dominik's life that all of these things that have happened because of his deadbeat dad. I mean, he went to jail.
You think this is a game to me? I served hard time. And I survived.
Dominik has done hard time because of the carelessness of his father and his absence throughout his life. Dominik found love and belonging within the Judgment Day, his chosen family. And within that, he found love with Miss Rhea Ripley, his mommy. Liv Morgan's entire premise is to take everything away from Rhea Ripley. She started out with injuring her, making it so that she had to relinquish her title. And now it seems the next step would be to take her man, to take Dominik. But is everything as it seems? This is not the face of a man that is interested in this kiss. He's pulling back. He's got one arm. I had a lot of people that were saying, but Wheezy, he didn't push her away. Dude, he was caught off guard and he has one arm. What do you want him to do? I'm not gonna get caught up in that initial kiss. What I think we should be paying attention to is the things that have happened before that and the things that have happened after that. Leading up to this incident, we saw Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio leaving what seemed like the same room or same area in the background of a segment. We also saw Liv doing the same, leaving the same area as Finn Balor. I think there's a few possible scenarios of what could be happening, and I like that none of them are really the one that stands out. The easiest one to run with is that Dominik Mysterio is just a victim of his circumstance. He is just in the sight of Liv Morgan, who is hell-bent on her revenge tour to take Dominik Mysterio from Rhea Ripley by any means necessary. And if that means forcing her love upon him and making things uncomfortable, that is what she's going to do. In that scenario, Dominik has told Rhea Ripley everything that's been going on. She has seen it on television. They are communicating. They are working through it. And Liv Morgan is going to get her ass kicked when Rhea Ripley comes back. Now, another route that could take would be that Dominik Mysterio actually is in cahoots with Liv Morgan. It depends how deep you want to go and how deep down you want to dig. Dominik could be putting on a show for the camera where he is not interested in Liv Morgan and he is appalled by everything that she is throwing his way. It could be an entire elaborate plot for some reason where Liv is making Rhea Ripley think that she is after her man and that her man wants absolutely nothing to do with it. But it could be for show. Dominik very well be in some sort of, I don't want to say relationship, but doing something with Liv Morgan, and they're putting on this show on screen so that Rhea can see that Dominik is innocent and he is playing no part in any of this. Now, why would that be? I don't know. Liv Morgan could be scheming some elaborate plot that sounds appealing to Dominik when it comes to possibly kicking Rhea Ripley off the top. Maybe Dominik is just really actually truly in love with Liv Morgan and they're trying to make it so that he doesn't get in as much trouble once mommy comes back. But there was a point on Monday Night Raw where Damian Priest asks Dominik how Rhea Ripley is feeling about all of this. And all he says is something like, mommy is fine, mommy is understanding. But what I gathered from it is that Dominik hasn't told Rhea a damn thing about what's going on, and that possibly they haven't even talked since the kiss happened on air. Maybe she hasn't even seen it. Maybe there's a reason, or maybe there's some kind of reason that Dominik gave Rhea Ripley to not be watching television, maybe to protect her from something. But the other factor that comes into play is Finn Balor. Finn Balor is another person that we saw in the same area in the background of a segment, walking with Liv Morgan or near Liv Morgan. Could Finn Balor be plotting with Liv Morgan to get Rhea Ripley so upset over what she's doing with Dominik Mysterio that they're able to overthrow Rhea and possibly kick her out of the Judgment Day? Why would they want to do that? Maybe they want to break off and create their own Judgment Day. Maybe Finn Balor feels like he should be the leader of Judgment Day. Like, he has been sitting in the shadows for too long. He's had so many things taken from him. He hasn't been able to show his worth. And he has someone like Damian Priest right now, and previously kind of Rhea Ripley, dogging on him about him ruining things and interfering in bad ways and not getting any kind of jobs done like Damian would like him to. Maybe Finn Balor doesn't want to be second fiddle anymore. And what could he do to make sure that he is going to come out on top? Tear everything apart from the inside. Revenge is a dish served sweet? Is that the phrase? I don't know. Maybe when all is said and done, Dominik really is just a ploy in all of this. Maybe he really doesn't want anything to do with Liv Morgan, and he really is the victim, like I said at the very beginning. I mean, he has the deadbeat dad. He's been through a lot. We could get to a point where possibly Dominik actually is falling for Liv Morgan, and then she rips it out from underneath him and she ends up kissing Finn Balor in the middle of the ring. Implosion. Now, there are a lot of other layers and people to consider. We still have Damian Priest, which, I mean, they're just kicking him to the side in these scenarios. Like, he's been on top, whatever, maybe he'll lose his title at Clash. JD McDonough is just gonna not do anything. Finn Balor is currently kind of like stuck with JD, and I think JD's worthlessness is rubbing off on Finn, and I think Finn knows that. And then we randomly have Carlito just tagging along, who's probably just a scapegoat in all of this. I want to think that this is some big elaborate plot, and it would be really cool if it was an elaborate plot that all of them were entwined with. But I can't see a particular reason as to why Dominik would want to turn on Rhea. It could just be in his blood. It could just be in his genes to be treacherous or to learn from the friends of his father. Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero did cheat on China.
I know it looks bad, but you gotta give me a chance to explain, okay, Mommy? Oh, come on, those hoes meant nothing to me, baby. You mean the world.
And hell, like everyone is saying, what's the likelihood that maybe we have a custody of Dominik match between Mommy and Liv? Regardless of anything else, I'm loving the multi-layered storytelling that WWE is currently doing. This feels like a follow-through that I can actually get behind and not some kind of storyline that they're going to drop midway through, which is something that's happened a lot with Liv Morgan in the past. I'm loving the side of Liv Morgan. I think she's really leaning into it and she's doing a great job. Maybe this is the correct way to really implode the Judgment Day and be able to move forward. Because even with the implosion of the Judgment Day, it would give everyone a different direction to go and to start fresh. Those are my thoughts. I would love to know what you think about Liv Morgan, Dom, and Rhea Ripley, and what you might think the fallout is going to be, or if there's some kind of scenario that I didn't think of. I think the possibilities are endless, and I'm excited to kind of see who ends up being right in the very end. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I'm going to try to be more consistent. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Peace out.